Welcome everyone to the Main Street Sports Show live from North Clarion High School. So the Main Street name doesn't really apply today, but we're live on the Redbank Valley Chevrolet Sports Show tonight. Given that the District 9 playoffs are coming up, we're broadcasting the game between Clarion and North Clarion girls coming up. So our show is here for the night and a little bit earlier as well. As always, I'm your host, Owen Krepps. I'm joined by Lexis. Lexis, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here. My debut.
Yeah, your debut on the show.
Excited to be here at North Clarion tonight.
Now we got three guests with us. One being from North Clarion. Mike Brown joins us as the boys basketball coach of North Clarion High School, and two of his players, Ethan Carl and Drake Irwin, both seniors, just wrapped up their high school basketball careers essentially. How are you guys doing? And welcome to the show.
Well, we finished up not as many wins as I wish we could have had. The guys played well. We got better at the end of the year. The big thing that hurt us all year was really depth. We had basically 5 guys that played, basically 30 minutes a game. The only time we come out is when there were foul trouble or injuries. But they played hard, and they gave me everything I asked them to give this year. I'm really proud of them.
Two of them, of course, I'm assuming, are to your left?
Yes, they are.
How are you guys doing just overall?
My co-captains.
Yeah, your co-captains, okay. How are you guys doing overall? Just what's the season been like for you, and what are the emotions like right now, given that it's all over?
So obviously it's not the ending in the season we wanted and anticipated at the beginning, but overall I think everybody had fun, and I think the big takeaway is that the younger kids, because we have no juniors on our squad, that our sophomores got experience to the varsity basketball, and that's going to help them in the future.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, going into the season, we were all kind of hoping to make D9 playoffs and maybe go make a run, but some tough losses towards the middle of the season. But we really came back at the end and played some big games. And, I mean, we were a lot more competitive, and you could tell, like, as a team, we really came together at the end of the season. And we just knew where each other were at a lot more, and we really bonded. So it was a good end of the season, although the win column didn't really show it.
Of course. We're going to have a little bit shorter of an episode. I just wanted to let you guys know, those watching. It's going to be a 45-minute episode because, of course, this gym will be pretty active with some high school girls basketball players. How are you guys looking up for these matchups? You guys, I'm assuming, will stay for the games. Have you been following just the girls in general, and what's that been like for you guys?
Well, the girls have had a really good season. It's going to be hard for them tonight to keep it going because they've got a lot of sickness going around right now. 2 or 3 girls are pretty well sick and stuff, but they're well coached, they play well, and I think they'll be all right tonight with Clarion.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The last couple of games, especially at KSAC, they usually have a little bit of trouble during that fourth quarter. I think as long as they keep it close or they run away with it in the fourth and they do a good job in the fourth quarter, then it's going to be a really good game.
Of course.
Yeah, they played well all year, and I other than the sickness, I think that we played good, and we've lost players, of course, Kyler getting hurt this year and all that. We've battled through it. I think they're going to be fine, through the sickness and all. They've shown that they can face the adversity.
So we want to dive into our main guest here, Mike's coaching career. It's been 50 years.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Technically speaking, I mean, you guys are in the off season now, so you're going into your 51st. Just counting them and racking them up. Just in general, how's coaching treated you? You've been everywhere, from university to high school to athletic director to driver's ed instructor, and
it's something I always wanted to do. I was always wanted to coach once I was done playing and stuff like that. And I was fortunate. I started in 1974 in Pittsburgh. And in 75, I moved up here. I went to Redbank Valley for 33 years. Then I spent some time at Clarion University, about 11 years. And then once I retired from that, I came up here and started subbing every day and working with these guys. So,
of course. You have anything else?
Yeah. Are there any memories from the last 4 years with this team that you have and the seniors that you have that really stick out with you, or any games that stick with you?
I think this year, to be honest with you, the Carn City game at the end of the year, we played them here, and I was just really, really proud of the way those guys battled with Carn City. I mean, they were the KSAC champions, and up until the fourth quarter there, I think we were maybe 2 or 3 points down. And again, we with 5 guys playing the bulk of the thing, we ran out of gas a little bit. But overall, we rebounded with them. We shot well. We did a good job on defense. And to me, that was like the epitome of what we tried to work with this year. And it was right towards the end of the season, and they played hard and played very well.
Good, the icing on the cake for the season, and
Yep.
definitely the game
Yep.
that you saw it come together.
Right. I was very, very pleased. And at the end of the season, we just kept working on little things like maybe a press break or something like that would help us. And that game, it just really, really came together. We were tickled to death when it was over.
Of course. Is that the same for you too, or are there any other games or memories that stick out, or any fun memories even at practice with Coach Brown?
Oh, absolutely. There's tons of funny moments at practice. Probably a few too many, but it's always fun. Our first game of the season against Sheffield was a pretty good one. We battled the entire time, and same as always, 30 minutes on the floor. Just it was extremely hot in the gym, and came down to a final shot and played excellent defense. And the kid made the shot, and his foot was inside the three-point line, and we ended up winning by 1 point. So that was probably one of my favorite memories this year.
I would also say Carson City. I mean, we were right with them until the fourth quarter. We got so tired playing that hard for that long. But, yeah, we played great, and I just felt a lot closer with the guys there. And I think that as a team, we did all the little things that we had to do. I mean, it would have been nice if we could have put some of that stuff together earlier, but, I mean, it was nice to see it there towards the end.
So great memories for you guys in your 4 years here. What's next for you guys, though, as you move on in your lives?
So I have a couple things. I'm going to Penn West Clarion. I'm going to major in secondary education with a focus in history, on hopes of becoming a high school history teacher.
And coach.
And head coach.
Yes, I do actually plan on doing a coaching career, hopefully junior high basketball next year. And then I'm also a PIAA certified junior ref.
Good for
so
you.
I hope to
Awesome.
continue that career path and hopefully one day maybe ref at Hershey, or better yet, get a KSAT game at Tippin Gymnasium. So
Good.
Awesome.
I'm going to Penn State Barron for chemical engineering and hoping to play golf up there, continue my golf career out of high school, and then hopefully even out of college. We'll see where it takes me. But, yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. And other than that, I mean, I'll still be around here, cheer on our boys as they come up through, so it'll be fun.
And then you're entering year 51 of coaching
Well,
in general.
actually, they'll be stuck with me during baseball season this
Oh,
year,
that's
too.
right.
'Cause,
Yeah, not even.
That's what I heard.
We're getting, it's still got another season to go
Yeah,
through. but-
they'll be sick of me by the time they get out of
Do
here.
you both play baseball?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And then in the fall, you said you golfed.
Yes.
Did you play any fall sports?
I do not know.
No. But just in general, do you have any advice to them? You said Ethan, you might potentially be a coach, or Drake, sorry. The names are on the banners up there. I should get them right. But you have any advice to them on potentially becoming coaches? I mean, way back when, you had the same idea, no?
Yeah. I would say the biggest thing for me was like when my playing career ended and stuff like that. I wanted to stay active and I wanted to stay in it, and coaching was a good outlet for me. And once I got into it, it was like, I went from football to basketball to baseball to track and field and summer times, and and I will tell you this: these two guys, this summer when we started in May last year, when we got back and we started working, and those guys were here every day. It's just we just ran a little bit short of some talent in certain areas and stuff like that, but. They all know the game. Both these guys would come up to me and say, "Hey, why don't we try this or try that?" And I've always been the type of coach that's kind of open to what the kids on the team feel. And I would ask them, what do you guys feel? Can we beat them with a 2-3 zone? Do we need to go man? Do we need to run a certain offense and so on? And they were very good at that, very heads up.
Of course. We want to dive into your coaching career when we get back, but we'll take our first break right now on the North Clarion Sports Show, sponsored by Redbank Chevrolet. See you guys in a sec.
Dubrook, a division of M&B Group, is your trusted local ready-mix supplier for residential and commercial projects. Dubrook provides a full line of decorative concrete, as well as concrete supplies, along with a variety of concrete tools and accessories. Dubrook can provide services large or small for residential and commercial projects to contractors or homeowners. Dubrook is here to provide you with options and ideas to make planning your next project simple. Let Dubrook help you with the supplies you need to get the job done. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities with plants in Clarion, Du Bois, St. Mary's, Butler, Evans City, Bradford, and Meadville. Call 1-844-382-7665.
Hey Julie, nice deck! Did you get that at Tio Nesta Builder Supply?
It's Nesta Builder Supply, and yes, Dave, I did.
Wonder if they sell siding and roofing at Tio Nesta Builder Supply.
It's Nesta, and yes, Nesta Builder Supply has that too. Come on, Dave. You've never been there? They have 2 showrooms for anything home improvement. Mom got a custom kitchen there. Bill down the street got the materials for his garage. They have this awesome website, www.tionestabuilders.us. You can buy online. They really have everything for the home.
Wow! I'm heading over to Tio Nesta. I know. Tionesta Builders.
Tionesta Builder Supply Home Improvement Center, family owned and operated since 1958, with locations in Tionesta and Shippenville.
That sounds good. I'll check them out online at tionestabuilders.us.
Clarion Forest VNA believes the emotional and physical well-being of a patient is enhanced by the patient receiving care in the familiar surroundings of home. Their staff of caring professionals work closely with physicians to administer quality care to meet the needs of each individual. As a pioneer in home health care in Clarion and Forest County, Clarion Forest VNA continue to grow to meet the community's need for in-home care, offering many different services and programs to meet the patient's need. Clarion Forest VNA, located at 271 Perkins Road in Clarion. Call us toll-free at 1-800-262-2118.
Welcome back to the Main Street Sports Show, live from North Clarion High School, sponsored by Redbank Chevrolet. 1975 is where it all started for you, Mike, right? All the way back in at Redbank Valley High School. That was the year the Flyers last won a Stanley Cup. Do you remember that, when they won a Stanley Cup?
I do, and I'm not a big hockey fan,
No.
but I can remember that. And like I said, I started there in '75, and I got hired as an assistant varsity football coach and head track coach coming right out of high school. And I enjoyed every second of it. Had some wins I would like to have back, or some other things, but the kids wind up being an extension of you, and I think, these guys responded, especially these 2 guys, they know all my inside jokes and all that stuff, and coaching is, I wouldn't be here today if it wouldn't have been for coaching and athletics, and I'm just tickled to death that it's lasted this long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you definitely become a family too, coaching. I feel like sometimes you're with them more than your actual family.
Sometimes we are, especially, you go, like I say, you go in the summertime. We went, 2 or 3 times a week during the summer, and I would leave the golf course and come here. These guys would leave their jobs and come here. But every night they came, and we worked hard. The problem, again, the depth hurt us. In the junior class, we didn't get anybody out of there, and that kind of hurt us as far as backups go. But the young kids came on. I mean, they all played well. The JVs had a pretty decent year, and some of those guys will step up to fill these guys' places next year.
Of course. Your time at Redbank, it seems like you did just about everything. 33 years there, assistant athletic director, 2 athletic director, driver's ed. One thing that stood out when I was talking with Bob Dunkel, he said you kind of pioneered that position of an athletic director at Redbank. It seems like that wasn't much of a thing, and back then, and over the years, you kind of took it as your own and just made it kind of into a more modern position, and now every school has one.
Well, I tried to do that. Actually, it was a dual position. I was in charge of all the discipline and stuff like that, plus the AD. So it became a balancing act, because when I first became the assistant AD, I was coaching 3 sports. And then when I became the head AD, I dropped basketball and was still coaching baseball and so on. But it was, I coached everything I could coach. I didn't, wrestling I didn't coach, or soccer I didn't coach, but and I went to a wrestling school, but I just didn't know, I didn't have any interest in wrestling.
Does the disciplinary side of his career come out with you guys ever? Did it ever come out?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
We it was well deserved though. It was well deserved.
When we talked on the phone, you said that you like to be a coach that always makes coming to practices or games fun.
I think we did that this year. I think, they all left and they came back the next day with smiles on their faces and stuff. And, for most of us, I was fortunate enough that I got to play some college ball and stuff, but for most of the guys, this is where everything they've wanted to do kind of accumulates right here, and they have to get the best they can get out of their ability and stuff like that. And I know we talked earlier about the Carson City loss, but you lose some games sometimes, and it's like you sit back and think, wow, I don't know if we could have played any better. And sometimes it's like, unless you win a state championship, there's always somebody out there a little better than you, and you may get knocked off before you're ready to,
Absolutely. And then another question, obviously there's a generational gap here. So what differences or similarities do you see from whenever you were growing up and played versus now coaching these kids growing up and playing?
Well, I know myself growing up, I started in, I think it was 5th grade, playing basketball and football and, baseball I started when I was younger than that. But the kids aren't different now. You still have to get them motivated, and I think the fact that they knew when I had an open gym, I wasn't going to take it off, or I was going to be here. I didn't rely on anybody's assistance to come in and stuff like that. And I think you can ask these guys. I'm a very hands-on coach. The hardest thing for me right now is when I was coaching when I was younger, I could demonstrate things a little bit better. And now it's physically, I'd wind up in a pile on the floor somewhere if I tried to do too much.
Of course. So just one quick question. Do they have driver's ed at North Clarion anymore? Do they have it anywhere around here? Do you know?
I don't think some people still may run the book part of it, but I don't think anybody does behind the wheel much anymore.
That is
at all.
a shame, in my opinion. My sister just turned 16, so
Yeah.
I'm all worried about that.
Well, I taught that for 30 years.
Were you ever afraid to be in the car with somebody?
Yeah.
You don't have to name names.
No, I won't name any. There was one girl I taught one year that it was supposed to be a 6-hour course, and she wound up taking 18 hours from me because I just couldn't let her go out on the road by herself.
Oh.
But wow. I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was a long time. I get up at 6 in the morning and start drive right at 7 and get home at 5:30 at night.
Yeah.
And coach football on top of that and everything else.
One of the most important skills. And just driving here, I feel like a couple people should have paid better attention. So you move on, you go to Clarion University, and you're the baseball coach there for 11 years, 2 as head and 9 as assistant. To Drake specifically, you have any advice on what it's going to be like? Because as he goes to Clarion University, and what was your just general experience there?
I'm actually going to try to get him to walk on because I'm helping at Clarion again this year. So I'm going to try to get him to walk on in the fall and see what we can do. I know he's a good player and stuff. It's a little different when you get to college because when I first went to college to play basketball, the biggest shock for me was Sunday practice. Because when I was in high school, you didn't even broach the subject of Sunday practice, and you're going 6 days a week, you get 1 day off and stuff like that. But I think everybody gets a shot at college. Like Ethan's going to golf and stuff like that. It's a different level, where your commitment becomes. It's hard to play 2 sports in college. In high school, we got some kids playing 2, 3, even 4 if they're running baseball and track both. And the commitment for one sport with all your academics and stuff is pretty tough.
How have you guys balanced that? You guys are both double sport athletes, right? Yeah, at least. How have you guys balanced that? Just it's a thing that goes on for any high school kid ever, but it doesn't get any easier balancing student work and social life and of course sports.
I guess school has always come really natural to me. So I mean, studying was never really
Lucky.
Too big of a deal for me. Especially history, because those are what most of my classes are. So as far as history goes, I mean, usually I always had that down. Math, I'm the same way. The only particular classes that I struggled in was science. Science I always had to study. So if I knew my material, then I would focus solely on that particular class, which was usually a science class.
I mean, I really try to maximize the time in school where I have my study halls and stuff to really get as much done there so I can take as little home as possible. But, you know, whenever I have to take stuff home, it's definitely a lot harder to stay focused, especially whenever you have a practice in between or before that and you're tired. But I feel I've managed it pretty well. There's definitely been some times where I could have done better, but I tried as best as I can. And I mean, I definitely would recommend it to others because it really teaches you how to manage your time and really just the discipline to be able to do stuff when you don't want to. But
Of course.
I think you get the same value too in college with that, because at least whenever I was in college, our coaches always made sure we had a certain amount of time we had to study, whether it was each day or each week, and obviously to stay eligible, you had to have good grades just like in high school.
Right. And coaches, and a lot of college coaches do a study hall, 1 hour, hour and a half a day or 3 days a week and so on. And I always did that with baseball at the university too, to make sure guys were staying. And we were pretty fortunate. We had most guys that held their grades pretty good.
Good. How about these guys?
I didn't worry about these guys.
Good.
I won't say there wasn't a couple other guys on the team I didn't worry about once in a while.
Yeah, you already
but-
have short numbers. You
But
don't need
these guys, they're good. They were, assignments in on time, whatever they had to do extra, it was good.
Good. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be back and kind of just dive into where you're at now and your time at North Clarion. So that's all coming up on the North Clarion Main Street Sports Show, sponsored by Redbank Chevrolet, live from North Clarion High School.
This is a great show.
Hey, check out this all-new 2024 Chevrolet Krepps 1RS in cacti green. Let's talk about some of those safety features. We have blind spot monitoring system, we have forward collision system with alert and brake, and we have lane departure warning as well. How about the gas mileage?
30 miles per gallon average. Yeah, it's great. Bumper-to-bumper warranty and the 5-year 60,000 mile powertrain warranty.
And check out the clarity on this backup camera on this 11-inch touchscreen. Can you believe you get all the features like heated steering wheel, heated seats, remote start, power sunroof, all for $24,900?
It's a great value in the new Chevrolet. Hey, check out this Glacier Blue RST Silverado 4x4 Z71 4-wheel drive, 5.3 liter V8. It's a really nice sharp truck. All LT and RST Silverados have this same interior. Got this really large touchscreen display, built-in Google Maps, heated seats, automatic climate control, heated steering wheel. We have a backup camera, really great display, and all the safety aspects. Adaptive parking, adaptive braking, pedestrian braking, blind spot mitigation.
Follow us to Redbank Chevrolet.
Protect your home or business from all those sneaky pests. Give Hugh Henry's Pest Management a call at 814-316-1875 or check them out online at bugguy.com. Pest Management, where nature and technology meet.
Welcome to 12 Series, a veteran-owned and operated company. Want to stand out amongst the crowd? This is the brand for you. They have apparel that ranges from cardio tanks and hoodies to sweat noggin covers. The apparel isn't just designed for the gym, it's designed for everyday life. Whether at work, the range, or at a family outing, 12 Series will turn heads. Find and like 12 Series on Facebook and Instagram.
Throughout West Central Pennsylvania, people are losing their glasses. Well, they haven't really lost them. They just don't need them anymore. Thanks to the amazing LASIK surgeons at Laurel Eye Clinic. Call Laurel Eye Clinic and schedule your free consultation.
Hi, my name is Jason and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
Welcome back to the Main Street Sports Show, live from North Clarion High School on exploreClarion.com, sponsored by Redbank Chevrolet. We're here with Mike Brown and two of his players from this past season at North Clarion. Now, I wanted to dive into your time. We went through Redbank and Clarion University. You were at Keystone briefly with Greg Heath for 1 year.
Right. I was, when I first started up here, I was volunteer baseball coach, and then I did that as the head coach till, what year was it we had to combine with Forest? That would have been your freshman year?
Freshman year.
Yeah, their freshman year. We just didn't have enough guys. We wound up on a Thursday when we were supposed to play on Tuesday with 7 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it just was one of those deals where we couldn't talk the guys that played the year before and stuff, you know, had been in the playoffs for a while, and we just couldn't get them out for some reason, you know, and they had other things to do. We lost, I think, 3 or 4 seniors that year that didn't come out that would have really helped us and let us have our own team here. But then after that, I helped Ewing Musa here, and I helped Andy Bish here as a, you know, assistant coach. And then when I left here for a year and helped Greg Heath over at Keystone, Greg and I have been friends for 35 years, you know, and stuff. So he asked me to go over there and help, and I did that. And as soon as that season was over, in fact, I coached a summer league game for those guys over in Franklin on a Thursday. And Friday morning, I got offered the job here and took the job here, and that was like 2 days before practice started. We didn't do summer league that year, because I was, like, say, working with Keystone and stuff. So last year early was rough. I mean, they got used to me real quick. You know, I've told everybody that plays for me, part of your ego is going to be left in the gym sometime, because I'm going to holler at you, and I think most of the kids understand that there's a difference between me being upset with the player as opposed to being upset with the person. You know, I never tried to make anything personal. It was always about a player, you know. I mean, you know, like I remember one kid this year, you know, I said to him, hey, you either got to play defense or you're going to be sitting there for a long time. It's not personal, but that's the way it is, you know. You got to help us out at that end of it.
Absolutely. And then coaching at several schools in several different areas, do you see a bunch of differences within the schools or a lot of similarities?
Well, at Redbank when I was there, you know, we went through some cycles where we had really, really good athletes, and then we'd be, you know, maybe down a couple years and stuff. But here it's like we need every kid in this school to participate in something. And like I say, I think Ethan went 3 sports this year, the last couple of years. Drake's gone 2. And the problem is as reference back to my college coaching, is I hate to see kids say they're specializing, because as a college coach, I went out and looked for the best athlete I could find, you know, because he may be a shortstop in high school, but when he went to the college, I needed to play left field. So it was very important to get kids that are athletic. And these guys understand it. That's why they do different sports. You know, every sport kind of piggybacks onto the other one at one time or another.
Now, you're also a sub here at North Clarion, and you guys obviously being in the school every day, is it kind of part of your jobs as playing these sports to kind of recruit the hallways and being like in a science lab with somebody like, hey, you thought about playing basketball this year, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We already have most of the 9th graders or 8th graders. I already talked to all of them from junior high, because my littlest brother is in 7th grade, and we already plan on taking them all out to the courts as soon as baseball ends.
Yeah, we definitely do our work. We want we want as many people as possible because it's definitely a lot nicer for practices and then having JV teams and stuff like that to have the most bodies. So even if, they're not the best player right now, we get them out here and coach them up and really just see what they become, just to have the people to be able to really get better as a team.
And I have to ask, a couple years ago, you gave an athlete, I believe Zealand Hargenrader, your shoes off your own feet during a game.
Yeah, I did.
Did you get your shoes back?
I got them back, and I actually gave them to him at the athletic banquet that year.
Nice.
That was my parting gift to Zealand. He wore them a couple times coaching this year too. So,
cool.
But we had fun with that. It was funny because I got a call from one of my friends in Tallahassee, Florida. He saw it on CBS News, and I got a call from another guy in San Francisco and stuff. I was surprised how much.
It's big. It was big time news.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What year was that?
21.
Yeah.
So you guys were on the team then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Another thing, another interesting tidbit about you is you tried out for the Pittsburgh Pirates way back when.
Yeah.
Remember that experience?
Yeah, I do. I remember being younger and being able to run a little bit and stuff like that. And I got invited to Three Rivers Stadium to work out for them and stuff, and I did that. But there's a thing in baseball called a curveball.
Yeah.
That just kicked my butt every time, and but I had fun, and it's actually a really ironic thing about the whole thing was when I went to Three Rivers that day, that was the first my dad ever watched me play baseball.
Wow.
And I was 20 years old, and he missed all Legion and all Little League and all Babe Ruth and all that stuff. And
wow.
Pretty special watching you at Three Rivers.
It was, yeah, it was cool, yeah.
But you definitely got a lot of accolades as a coach. We won't even list them off all here because there's so many, but is there a specific team, specific players that really stand out to you? I know you mentioned to me that you had a guy come over to you at the KSAT games and be like, "Hey, coach," and you won the championship with him in 1980.
Yeah, 1980 at Redbank, we had a really, really super team. It was funny. I had 4 kids on that team that year that all scored over 350 points. And my center, who's a great kid, love him to death. I still see him every once in a while. He was our center. He scored 17 points, and we averaged 81 points a game. He scored 17 in one game, and he only had 59 the whole year. Wow. But we wound up winning 23 games. He was the epitome of a role player. He knew what he had to do. It was like if he gave the ball up, he knew what to get back.
Who's the role player on your guys' team?
All these guys were. This guy here, I'll tell you what, Ethan was the biggest kid we had, but this guy here, we would play him last year and this year on the other team's big guy, and he did a great job fronting him and stuff. Like, once he got turned to the basket and stuff, we had a little trouble. But I can tell you games last year and this year where he really did a yeoman's job on defense, and I know I asked him to do that, and he was getting beat up with it sometimes, but he responded very well.
Of course. And then in 2021, you were inducted into the Redbank Valley Sports Hall of Fame. And in 2023, recently, the Mercer County Hall of Fame. Just a tremendous coaching career. I'm sure you'd like for it to continue many years in the future. But what's the next steps for you? Are you planning to continue coaching for as long as you can?
Yeah, I don't know what else I'd do.
Right.
I mean, I despise winter. Like, winter could disappear and I'd be a happy man. But I've always done it. I've been involved in athletics since I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I'll keep coaching somewhere. I'll do something, basketball, baseball, whatever they need me. The only thing I probably wouldn't do again is football. Those 2-a-days just kill me.
Yeah.
So, whenever you were raising your kids, Carrie, Aaron, and Moira, did you ever coach them at all?
No,
Anything?
I never coached a girls' sport.
They were probably happy about that.
No.
You coach them at home, maybe.
Yeah, I coached them at home and stuff. The funny thing was I can't remember which one it was. I took them out and we were driving when I was teaching driver ed, and she said, "Do I need to sign up for this at the high school?" And I said, "Every time you drive with me, you're getting driver ed. I don't think you need to sign up and do that." But no, I went to all their games. I watched them, and they were all pretty good athletes in their own right. Carrie and Aaron were basketball players. Moira was a really, really good cheerleader, and
now you have grandkids to look forward to.
I've got one grandkid that started at wide out and defensive back for Karn City this year in football, and he'll be playing in the district playoffs as well. and I got another grandson that's playing junior high basketball down there, and I got these guys. They saw my grandkids. I used to bring a couple of them up with me. You know, they were gym rats this year. They come about 5 times, I think, and I mean, they kept these guys loose. I mean, you couldn't watch those two guys that they weren't nuts. You know, they'd be handing them candy or this or that, and they were like my daughters. They were gym rats. They came to me with practices and stuff like that. A lot of times it was come to practice, get something to eat on the way home, and they were happy, you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So just a fantastic coaching career, and we wish you the best of luck in the future, as well as you guys in your university days. We're going to wrap things up here. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Sadly, a little bit of a shorter show, but we got some basketball to play in this court, and we got to wrap things up. It's all coming live on EYT Media, but that concludes it for now on the Main Street Sports Show, sponsored by Redbank Chevrolet.